Make the cheeks clap. Clap, 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 Make the cheeks clap.
Hello, race fans. Welcome to another evening with CCRL. I am PK. Tonight, Dresden is out. It's official. Will not be here with us tonight, but he will be hopefully joining us Monday. So tonight we are in Belgium. It is Elite Tier Season 2.1. We're in Spa. We'll see what the weather looks like. Typically, they will set the race up for real-time weather. So if you're at home right now watching, you can jump on the Weather Channel and see what it looks like there. But I wouldn't be opposed to a rain race tonight. It might throw a mix up in the regular running order. So we'll have to wait and see what the weather brings us. I'm excited. Spa always is it always puts on a show. It's a great track. There's lots of room for racing. So I think tonight's going to be an awesome race. We've got a short qualifying tonight. So probably 13 to 14 minutes. Enough for most of these guys to get a couple laps in. And then we'll do a 50% race. So 22 laps. Once again, last week, Great Britain. The week before. Last week was our first Constructors' Cup race, so we're going back a couple weeks to Great Britain. Z-Milk once again taking a win. And we'll see now what the driver standings look like. So going into tonight, Z-Milk sits on top of the order with 163 points in that Alpine. Reimer at 117, and you'll see there Z-Milk with 4 wins on the season so far. We are in round 9 tonight, so he's taken just under half the wins so far this season. So we'll see. He's been on a tear lately. We'll see if he can continue that tonight. Sitting in third, Leisig. Leisig's had a rough last few races. Maybe not the ideal races he'd like to have. So we'll have to see if Leisig can bring. We know he can bring pace, but I think the thing he may have been lacking recently is not consistency. It's just luck. He's gotten into some pretty tricky situations, so I'm sure he's hoping for a clean race tonight. Curveball in fourth, jumped up a position last week in front of Barney, who's been out for a couple of weeks. Barney joined us for the Constructors' Cup, but has been out for the last couple elite races. Shashir sitting in sixth, just in front of God Rewinds. Owa in eighth, sitting just ahead of Bongit and Pontiac Bandit, rounding out the top 10 in our driver standings. So, Spa, is it going to mix up that driver standings? Z-Milk's got quite a lead right now in the elite tier. I think in order for us to see any kind of major swing in that top position, Z-Milk would have to unfortunately have a DNF. So hoping that doesn't happen, but because I think if he stays in the race tonight, we'll see some solid action. Let's look at the constructor standings real quick while we have time here. Alpine, thanks to Z Milk's performance over the season, is sitting top of the ladder in first place with 184 points. Williams currently second with 145, so at almost a couple wins away from first there. Haas sitting in third right now with 135 points, only 10 points behind the Williams team. And then Alpha Tauri in fourth place with 118 points. Once we get back to McLaren, fifth and sixth, pretty tightly contested, only 18 points separating those two teams. McLaren fifth, Alfa Romeo sixth. Mercedes, the team from Brackley, finds itself in seventh, currently sitting at 63 points, just 1 point above their rivals in Red Bull at 62 points, who find themselves 1 point ahead of Aston Martin. So 3 UK-based teams there, sitting 7, 8, 9, very highly contested. We could see anywhere in that midfield 5th through 9th, really mixed up tonight. And then Ferrari sitting down in 10th with 55 points. So I wouldn't quite call it a runaway at the top of the Constructors' Championship yet. We're only halfway through the season. But it's going to take some work from some of those teams to get back to the top. Hey, Barney in the chat. Yep, Dresden is out tonight. He took a shift. He took a shift late today, and will be out this evening. Untrained Pro, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. So, Spa tonight. We've seen some of these guys really pick up the pace here in season 2.1. It'll be exciting to see guys like Urban, guys like Owa, Feeney, some of the guys who we see are really putting in the time. You can see their pace and their consistency coming up. Will they have any direct impact tonight? We do have some news coming today in the league. It's not quite silly season, but some driver changes. So if you're used to seeing Rob Stark in a Ferrari, he will no longer be racing in a Ferrari. He has decided to take a step back from racing and has taken a break from CCRL for the time being. So Z-Milk will be jumping into the Ferrari tonight. So you will see Z-Milk in the color red going forward. Hemphead has taken his seat in the Alpine. And NLC Racing, a racer we have seen recently in the Pro Tier who has been ultra fast in Pro Tier, he will be taking the Williams to partner up with Reimer. So we'll see some different names on the grid tonight. We'll see guys in different colored suits, in different colored liveries that we're used to. So obviously, if you're new to the league, this league is all homologated to one car spec. So no team is faster than another. So everyone's on the same level playing field as far as that goes. So it's merely a livery difference between these guys, but will be interesting to see teammate wise if some of these guys are closer on the grid. So some interesting things, and it may take us in the commentary box a little getting used to as well. So bear with us if we accidentally if we see a Alpine screaming around the corner and call it Z-Milk. Just bear with us. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But so we're just a few minutes away from getting started here tonight. No further news other than those major changes in the drivers. We should be on for a great race tonight. Definitely missing Dresden. So Dresden, if you're watching from somewhere or if you're watching this tomorrow, we miss you. We understand and hope to see you back soon Monday night. So yeah, once again, congrats to Z Milk. Thanks, Untrained Pro in the live chat there. Um, so Z Milk in the Ferrari, and we've got NLC in the Williams, and just looking at the chat here, and Hemphead in the Alpine. So one other admin announcement before we get started here. There will no longer be any reserve drivers in this elite tier for the remainder of the season. So sometimes we will do that or we used to do that realistic tier and the elite tier. If a driver was out that week, they'd have a reserve driver hop in. So just a quick message there from league admin stating that no longer going to have any reserves in this elite tier. So it could be interesting because I think that sometimes some of the teams, the manufacturers, definitely benefited, I will say, from having a reserve in that week just to get some points on the board. So, but I understand it. Not everyone is on elite tier pace, and so we want to kind of make sure that there's no major disruptions in this elite tier. So I totally get it, totally on board, and admin's doing a great job of keeping this league competitive and also fair. So hats off to them. So tonight, 22 laps. It was a 4.3 mile track through the Ardennes forest. Tires we'll be using are the C2 hard, C3 medium, and the C4 soft. We will see those softs in qualifying, and we may see some people start out on the softs for race strategy, mainly towards the back, or if we get some some of our top tier guys who maybe have a not so great qualifying in the midfield somewhere. We may see them on softs as well and go maybe a soft medium strategy. But probably, I'm guessing most of what we'll see tonight is a medium to hard or hard to medium strategy with that one stop. Typically, the two stop strategy in these 50% races doesn't pay off, but there are times when it does. So, and that's not even talking if we have a safety car. So, all those things will come into play. High braking stress on the cars on this track, as well as lateral stress on the cars and tire stress. So not a high tire degradation track, but definitely tire stress. As those cars are going through turns like Eau Rouge, Radeon, there's a few chicanes. All that stress and lateral movement will put a lot of stress through the tires on this track. Track evolution in qualifying will be somewhat, it'll be there, but it's not as substantial as, say, Bahrain or a track like that. This is a track that you really want to, setup wise, you want to be as efficient as possible. So you want to run as little downforce as possible, but you still want to be fast through sector 2. So we'll see. I've got my eye on a few people who definitely like to play with setups. I'm thinking about Barney. I'm thinking about Reimer. Those are a couple of guys you're probably going to see in a lower downforce setup tonight. Guys like Z-Milk, who we talked to last week, talking about a higher downforce setup to make them feel a little bit more comfortable and in tune with the car. So you'll see them with fast sector 2 times. but they may suffer a little bit through sectors 1 and 3. We are getting everyone in the lobby, and we should be just about ready. So, everyone, hey, I thank you for tuning in. I think we're going to have a great race tonight, and we will get into qualifying here in just a moment. So, stick with us. We are, this is CCRL Elite Tier. We are in Spa tonight, and we will be in qualifying here in just a moment.
Do you want to know what it's like? How it feels behind the wheel. On the most exclusive asphalt in the world. 1,000 horsepower at your command. Speed like you've never known. Millimeters between fame and failure. Milliseconds between first and forgotten. Take your seat.
And we are back. Thank you everyone for joining us in qualifying here in Spa. We are going to get going here in about 25 seconds. You can see the timer there at the top of the screen. Tom Ratliff in the chat waving. Thank you for joining us tonight. I want to thank everyone who's watching at home. Out and about, in your car, wherever you're at. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate you commenting. If you have questions, if you're new to Formula One, you have questions about the league, feel free to post them in the chat. We'd love to answer those questions and talk with you during this race and qualifying. So, if you got questions, put them in there. We'll try to answer them as best as we can. So we are here in qualifying. 18 minutes is on the clock. That's quite a bit of time. So a typical lap around here, I'm thinking, I'm not sure. Off the top of my head, I'm thinking it's right at 2 minutes. Maybe a 1:58 for some of these fast guys. So we'll see. That's enough for them to get just three solid runs in. Seeing quite a few cars leaving the pits right away. We're going to jump on board with... curveball getting a little close there on the exit. I'll tell you what. Let's go on a lap with Reimer in the Williams. Currently on board with Reimer in the Williams. He is, you'll notice he's going to do some weaving, trying to get those tires up to temperature before he starts his fast lap. We're going to get some data up here so we can see what's going on, where everyone's at on the track. If you look in the lower right-hand corner, you'll be able to see our full map, our track map. I'm going to give you an idea of where everyone's at on the track, who's out doing a hot lap, and on the left as well. So Reimer overtaking the Alpha Tauri, setting himself up as he comes through this final Sector 3. This is a great track. This is a great driver's track, so you'll see we will probably see some spread in qualifying times from top to bottom of the field. Could be by multiple seconds, but here we go. We are on board with Reimer as he starts his lap down into turn 1 with source, very tight apex, and then you're just hammering the accelerator through this tiny kink turn 2 all the way down into Eau Rouge, riding the curves and just hammering it up through Radion. DRS opens as you start your long ascent up the Kemmel Straight and into Lacombe's, the first chicane here in Sector 2, 7, 8, 9. And then he's gonna, it looked like he was spinning there for just a second. Through 10 and 11, and a short sprint down to 12. This is looking like a good lap from Reimer, riding the curbs, but not out of control. Here he is into 13, and then an immediate left of 14 through Campus, and then out of 15, Stavelot. Really, 15 and 16, a double right-hander. And then it is full gas, full beans, all the way through this final Sector 3. Full throttle through turn 17, Blanchimont, one of the fastest turns on the calendar, through 18, and then down heavy on the brakes into the bus stop chicane and across the line. Reimer with a 1:44.7. That's a great time. That is a great time. Let's see who else is setting. Let's jump on board with Z-Milk in the Ferrari. My man is sporting new colors tonight, and red looks good. We've got a full course yellow. Ooh. What happened? Z-Milk in the pits. He scrubbed that set of tires right as that caution came out. So he probably will put on a fresh set and go back out again. So currently Reimer in first, sitting in that provisional pole position with a 1:44.7, and Angry Walrus a 1:44.7 as well. Only 3.5 100ths between Reimer and Walrus. Then we go back a few more tenths to Owa at 1:45.1. Oh, and as I say that, John the Prince, wow, that's a great time from John the Prince, 1:45.0. Currently on board with Leisig. I would say Leisig is on a hot lap here. Just making his way through Sector 2 now. We'll see as he starts Sector 3 what kind of time he is setting. Ooh, a little wobble from Leisig. And I wonder if he's going to scrub. No, looks like he's still in it. And around Spa, it's always good to at least finish that lap, because even a scrubbed lap on slicks could be very fast compared to a lap on any kind of weather tire. So weather conditions can change here fairly quickly, but Leisig turning in a 1:45.2 there, even with that little wobble through Sector 2. That's a time he'll want to improve upon, but not a bad banker lap. Let's see, who do we have out right now? Barney. letting traffic through right now, and he will be will follow Barney around for his hot lap. Barney's been out for the past couple of weeks on vacation, so probably still shaking a little bit of rust off, but I'm sure, you know, it's just like riding a bike. You get once you get a few laps down, you're right back in the mindset, and you got the feel as well. So Beanie jumping into the top 3 with a 144.9. So just about 2/10 off the top 2. And Barney sitting in 4th currently with a 144.9. We'll see if he can improve on that. It looks like Barney is going into the pits. So let's not pull that. Oh, let's see who is currently out. Leisig. Okay, Leisig about to start a hot lap. We'll ride on board with Leisig. See if he can improve on a 145. No, Leisig. Okay. All right, we'll go back on board with Z-Milk. Z-Milk making his way through Sector 2 right now. We're starting to see a little bit of field spread 1 through 12, but like I said, there isn't a little bit of track evolution to come. So when we've got a yellow, we'll get those. People slowing down to get out of the way. We'll see that. So Z-Milk going purple through Sector 2, which is not surprising to me. We know he's running a little bit higher downforce setup, but can he make up enough time through Sector 2 to be effective through 1 and 3? Through the chicane, a 140. He's looking good. This is going to be a great lap. And Z-Milk up to 3rd with a 144.8, so only about a 10th off the leaders at this point. Doing a solid job as his first qualification in a Ferrari. Let's see, God Rewind starting a lap? No. Curveball on the lap, just set a 145.3. He is starting a lap right now. I would say he probably, well, yeah. Okay, so we'll follow Curveball around and see if he can improve on a 145.3 through Sector 1, just through Radion, and now onto the Kemmel Straight. He is just about to pass the sector timing loop for 1, and we'll see up 4/10 on his fastest time. So he's got quite a bit of time to make up in Sector 2 if he's going to make any progress this lap. And he is awfully close to that Aston in front of him. I wonder if that dirty air is affecting his lap at all, or if he's hoping for a bit of a tow through the first and last sectors here. We'll see. He is just a couple turns away here from the timing loop for Sector 2. We'll see if he's made up any of that time. And up 7/10 now, so lost a couple more tenths through Sector 2. We're going to jump over to, let's see, we'll jump on board with Barney. He has just started his fast lap. You see there, that's a great shot of the DRS system. That flap opens up to allow less drag down the straights, giving these cars just a bit more power to overtake, but it's fully accessible during qualifying. So Barney doing a great job through Sector 1, about 4/100ths off his fastest time. And this is where we might expect Barney to suffer just a little bit through this Sector 2, running a lower downforce setup. He is just a couple turns away from the timing loop for Sector 2. As he comes through 15, we will see the progress. Oh, down 6/10. So he is really making up time by the handfuls here this lap. Can Barney put it on pole? He is poised to take a top 2 spot currently. Can he make up time in Sector 3? Very tight through the chicane. Beautiful exit. Across the line with a 1:44.1. Jumps into second place and misses pole by just 2/100ths. So nothing between Reimer and Barney. Who else can we watch? Let's see. Walrus on hot lap. I don't think. Let's see. We'll know right now if he is. No, he is not. Who else? We've got a McLaren chassis. Limited for chassis. Yeah, we do have a Mercedes SP. SP on a hot lap? No. God rewinds? No, he's on his out lap. I'll tell you what, we'll right on board with maybe Z-Milk. I think Z-Milk's getting ready to start a fast lap. Here he goes. So great exit off the chicane. DRS open down the pit straight. Here he goes through tight apex through La Source, using all the curb on the outside. Full beans down through the King switches, turn 2. Let's see, does he lift? Yeah, tiny lift through Eau Rouge and then hammer down over Radion. Down the Kemmel Straight, using every single bit of the track and then some. And you can afford to take a little bit of grass there because those tires are not loaded. Z-Milk doing a great job so far. Through 10 and 11. Very tight. Great exit. Just looking like a very smooth lap. Here he goes through campus. Down into turns 15 and 16. Let's see where he's at in the sector times. Down 4/10. He's looking good for a top 4 at the moment. Can he make up any more time through sector 3 and steal a top 3 starting position? 1 minute and 40 seconds left in qualifying. So this will be Z-Milk's last attempt. Through the chicane and across the line, and it looks like it's starting to rain. Z-Milk up to 4th with a 1:44.3, and we are starting to get some weather here. Anybody who is not on their lap right now, this is going to be crucial. Some of these finishers, or those who have waited till the end of this session to get a lap in, are going to come up short. That rain is going to play a major part in this qualifying. And it looks like we've got a Haas across the line. Could it be a Leisig? Yes, Leisig just started a lap. through sector. We will get a okay, yep, there we go. DRS has been disabled. So race control feeling like it's wet enough on track to disable DRS. So we will see no more faster times. For the times on the left-hand side are going to stay the way they are. So with a minute left in qualifying, Reimer, our pole sitter, with a 1:44.1. Barney in second, lining up beside Reimer on the grid with a 1:44.1 as well. Nothing between the Williams and Alpha driver. Very interesting. So we'll want to watch that battle on track. Angry Walrus putting in a great qualifying performance, a 1:44.2, and Z-Milk, new this week in the Ferrari, lining up beside him, second row with a 1:44.3. Owal starting on the third row next to Curveball. God Rewinds in the Aston starting next to SP on the fourth row. Bongit and Feeney lining up behind them, 9th and 10th respectively. John the Prince starting 11th. Lysick really out of place, down in 12th. What kind of strategy will he have to employ to get himself out of that midfield battle? Pontiac Bandit starting in 13th. Shiesty starting in 14th. Shashir and Anyote 15, 16, and Urban starting in 17th. That is your qualification, folks. This has been PK. We will be in the race here momentarily, so stick with us. We'll be right back.
Make the cheeks clap. 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 Make the cheeks clap. 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 Clap.
Welcome back, everyone. This is CCRL Season 2.1. We are racing in Spa tonight. We just saw a very interesting qualifying, dry up until the last minute and change, and then we got wet conditions. So, will it be dry for the race? Will we get changing conditions? I think it looks like it may start dry and go to a wet condition, or we may stay dry the entire time. But that would be interesting to see if there is a crossover some point throughout this race. Barney and Reimer, the headliners of qualifying, only 4/100ths between the two drivers, so really nothing between them. What kind of strategies are they going to employ tonight to battle one another? We had quite a few other close runners right behind in Z-Milk and Angry Walrus. Will those two be able to hunt down those front runners? Especially, we know Z-Milk will be running a different aero setup than those front runners. Will he be able to stick close enough to them through that middle sector and then take advantage of DRS? All interesting questions that we will have answers to here in the next few minutes. I am PK. We welcome everyone here into this race. We appreciate you joining us. It's going to be a good race. We've had quite a few great races this season in the elites here, and I have no doubts that this one will be just as good, if not better, because it's Spa. Spa always brings out the best in the racers, and you've really got to pin it through quite a few of these turns and be aggressive, but also be smart. And there's a very fine line between those. Looks like we are just about here, getting everyone into the race, and we are going to start our formation lap. We've got Reimer on pole. Like I said, just right behind him, Barney, Angry Walrus, and Z-Milk. Third row, Ola and Curveball. Fourth row, we have God Rewinds and SP. Bong It and Feeney filling out the fifth row. John the Prince right behind them. Leisig out of place tonight in 12th. Right behind him, Pontiac Bandit and G. Shiesty, Shashir, Anyote, and Urban, pulling out the last spots on tonight's grid. Very interested to see what kind of tire strategies, and let's take a look real quick. So you'll see quite a few runners on mediums tire, all the way down to 7 on mediums. SP going for a somewhat different strategy, probably still a one-stopper, but choosing to go onto those softer, faster tires in the later parts of this race. John the Prince and Leisig also opting for that option, so look for Leisig to come through that midfield later on in the race, if not earlier. Pontiac Bandit, Shiesty, Shashir, and Anyote all on the medium tires as well, and Urban on hard tires to boot. So, no two-stop strategies to start out this race. I can't say that I am surprised. It's just not a faster strategy. You can see there are predicted pit stop strategies. Lap 10 to 13 for our medium tire runners. That's about what I had. I had lap 10. So, and then hard tire runners probably looking at lap 14, 15 if you're a Reimer, and you can extract a little bit more from the tires. Pablo Jury in the chat. Where's Dresden's cat? Dresden and his cat both not with us tonight, but he will be back with us on Monday. So if you're a Dresden fan, don't go away. He's not gone. He's just he's MIA tonight. So stay tuned and join us again on Monday. Dresden will be back with us. Last few cars lining up on the grid. And we will see that Mercedes get parked, and then we will be ready to go. Start on board with Z-Milk in the Ferrari. Newly added to the Ferrari team. It looks good on you, Z-Milk. We like it in red. Here we go, folks. Lights are on, lights are off, and off we go. Barney with a great start, overtaking Reimer into turn 1, and we've got 3 going 3 wide. Both Aston Martins pushing their way through past the Ferrari. Z-Milk has to take to the outside, and everyone seems to fall in line as we go up through Eau Rouge into Radion. Z-Milk off the throttle just a little bit. We're going to go look at the battle for the lead. Reimer chasing Barney in his slipstream. Is he going to get a pass down into Lacombe? He goes, oh. We're getting a little bit of clipping here, but Reimer hot on the tail of Barney. It looks like a spin further back. Shiesty down into 13th. Lots of positions changing in the back of this field, but everyone from first back through 10th holding ground. Feeney tucked up underneath SP, and we will not see DRS until the end of lap 2. So I expect most of these guys to hold station, barring any major slips, and we do have Longet spinning through the entrance of sector 2 there. Must be okay, we don't have a safety car or a DNF, but we will continue racing. Looking at fights through the field, everyone pretty much within a second of the car in front of them, bar Shiesty and Agnote, but they are making up time. Looking at the fight up front, Barney almost with a second over Reimer. And you gotta wonder, is Reimer maybe looking to extend his stint just a little bit? We know how good Reimer is on tires. He could be possibly saving a little bit back to mount a charge once he gets DRS. But won't be able to save for long, because right behind him in the Aston Martin, Angry Walrus now within just about a half second and chasing the Williams. Angry Walrus has been very quick. We've seen him be quick over the last few weeks. Consistency always playing a major part in his race finishes, but it is something that can be mitigated by just a little bit of practice. So has Angry Walrus been practicing around Spa? We are shortly going to find out, as he is now well under half a second to Reimer. Everyone's starting to settle in the grid. As we start our run down to the and rewinds. Rewinds has made contact with the wall outside of turn 16. We are under a safety car, so will anyone choose to pit? That is the question. So big winners from the start. Pontiac Bandit up 4 places. Shiesty up 4 places. Shashir up 4 places. Agnote and Urban both up 3 places. Rewinds will lose 10 places all once this is said and done. Bongit down 6. Leisig down 4. So Leisig must have either had contact or a spin as he started 12th. So not the start he was looking for. don't see anyone immediately into the pit, so everyone's staying on the current on the strategy they started on. Bong it, a DNF. So the other Ferrari out, and one of the Aston Martins out of this race. So as of lap 3, we've lost 2 competitors. Barney leading this race, and it must have been a virtual VSC because we are back green flag racing, and that would explain why no one is pitted. From the lead, Barney, then Reimer, Angry Walrus, only 4/10 behind Reimer, to Z-Milk, and then Curveball rounding out the top 5. Hey, Komakopa, thanks for joining us. Yeah, his cat is kind of funny. Dresden's cat, for those of you who don't know. If you watch long enough, you'll see him. He likes to make an appearance. Real friendly little fella. All right, so that safety car will have delayed our DRS slightly. So at the end of next lap, we should get DRS. So the question is, can Reimer get within DRS to Barney? Walrus already well within DRS to Reimer, and we've got quite a few in the midfield, all staying close enough to take advantage next lap once we get DRS activated. So it looks like Anyote in the pits. He must have picked up a little bit of wing damage, if I had to guess. We're going to go back and look. Feeney getting awfully close in the Alpine to the back of SP. Now within just half a second to the Mercedes. Feeney getting ever closer. Now just 3/10 back. Feeney on those yellow medium tires. They are softer, they are faster than the hard, so if he's going to get some passes, then he needs to do that. We've got a McLaren. John the Prince now has made contact just outside of turn 14 in Campus. And we have another safety car. Is this a VSC or is this a full safety car? It looks like a full safety car. So now, okay, yep, it looks like we are going to see some people coming into the pits. The top 5 into the pits. Barney, Reimer, Walrus, Z-Mill, Curveball. Oh, we've got half the field, most of the field pitting here. And that's probably a good decision. We'll probably see a lot of hard tires go on here. Oh, some softs. Interesting. We're gonna bring up some tire detail here to see what everyone's going out on. So this is interesting. So we've got SP in the lead on older hard tires, 4 laps over. Then we've got Barney on fresh hards, Reimer on fresh mediums, Urban on older hards, and then Walrus. I knew I saw some softs coming out of the pits. So what is Walrus? Is Walrus going to take advantage of this safety car, slap on a set of softs, and then go, I mean, he might get 6 to 7 laps out of those softs. So then does he put on hards? Because I think, man, those hards will go, yeah, even those fresh hard tire runners are going to pit again. So has Walrus out-strategized some of these top runners? Interesting. Okay, so current race update. Lap 5 of 22. We are under a full safety car. This is the second safety car, the first one being a VSC. Your current leader, SP in the Mercedes. Barney in second. Reimer in third. Urban in fourth. Just behind him, Angry Walrus. Remember, on those soft tires, can he cut through the field once this race is restarted? Z-Milk in 6th, from Curveball in 7th, Owa in 8th, Feeney in 9th, Pontiac Bandit rounding out the top 10. Back to Shiesty and Shashir now. Agnote into the pits. And what's happened here? So Agnote swapping around positions a little bit with Lysig. I'm not sure what's going on there in the back of the field. Some interesting stuff. So we're down to 14 runners here, lap 5 of 22. Probably lost a few more than I had originally anticipated. This is usually not a... I guess we've only lost 3, but not typically a track where you see a lot of DNFs. So that's interesting. So Feeney jumping into the pits. I would say that's probably a strategy pit stop. Throw on some fresh tires, come back out. It seems like I'm looking through the group Discord here, and Bong it a little fired up about something that's happened on track here. So I'm thinking he probably had a little bit of help with that DNF. Bong it, if you're out there, send us some video of what happened. We'd love to see what happened, and throw it on here. We'll do a little instant replay for everyone. So, Bong it, if you're listening, send us a clip. So Spa, one of the older tracks on the calendar. The original circuit opened in 1924, and it's really interesting. If you look at the track in the lower right-hand corner of your screen, you'll see there where the number 1 is. So that would have been the part of the original track. That straightaway, the Kemmel Straight, and then it was a long track. It was something like 14 miles, I think. And then back in the late 70s, early 80s, they actually put in sector 2 and 3, kind of connected parts of the track, and made it what it is today. So a very historic track in the area, and you'll notice that's how some of the turns got their names. So very cool place, and the scenery is amazing. So here we go, safety car in this lap. You'll see SP giving the safety car plenty of room. The safety car is in pit lane, so it is on SP now, and I am assuming he will probably get down to the chicane, and there he goes. Yep, he is. We are back to green flag racing. SP is trying to put as much room as he can between himself and that Alfa Romeo of Barney. But Barney looking to get a pass done early here on lap 7 as we restart this race. Barney barely lifting through Radion, and he is just under 2 tenths back from SP. Very close battle for the lead. 3 people, SP, Barney, and Reimer, all battling it out. So SP doing a very good job defending here. How long can he hold on to the lead? Can he put enough room between himself and Barney before we get DRS on lap 9? So that was an interesting safety car. I would say if Dresden was here, I would say he probably would give that like a 2 or 3 star safety car. Because it changed, I think it did change the outcome of the race. I mean, obviously everyone dipped in, put on some fresh tires, but didn't really change the order of the race too much. So, but man, we've got some close racing here at the front of the field. And a couple of guys we thought might be in here tonight who I was looking forward to seeing. NLC Racing, who was taking over the other Williams, did not make it in tonight. And then Himphead not here either. He is taking over the Alpine seat from Zemo. So would have been fun to see those guys on grid tonight. Can Barney keep it pinned through Radion, get an exit, and it looks like no, SP. Oh, looks like SP might be pulling away, and I think he is. Is SP using battery? He is. Oh, but we've got Reimer on the inside of Barney, getting the pass on, and sometimes you'll see that offense is the best defense, and Reimer taking that into his hands there through Lacombs. So now can Reimer go and chase down SP? Remember, folks, we will have DRS starting on this next lap. So not only will SP be under attack, but Reimer could be under attack. And now Angry Walrus is joining in this battle. Very tight through the midfield. Everyone bunched up. And Barney making up time to Reimer, now just at 4/10 behind the Williams driver. Oh, and Barney with a great exit out of that final chicane. Now, and oh my gosh, we're just seeing fastest lap times tumbling away. Angry Walrus with the fastest lap on that last lap. And I've got a feeling we're going to see some action down here into the Kemmel Straight. DRS opens up. And Reimer. Will Reimer get the... Is he going to send it on the inside of SP? He is! Thinks about it for just a second and then backs out. Barney all over the back of that Williams, and the Aston Martin is hunting as well. Folks, this is a four-way battle for the lead. You can't ask for anything better. Look at that. All four, top four cars all in one shot. Lots of battery deployment strategies going on right now. Reimer with 30% left. SP with 60% almost battery left. Barney with 83% and Walrus with 22%. So you'll see who is trying to exploit the other drivers in what parts of the track. Battery deployment can be key on a track like this. Reimer now under 2/10 to SP. He's going to try and set himself up through this chicane. Oh! Reimer and SP coming together through the final chicane. Oh my, and now Reimer is going to be under attack from Barney from behind. And you got to think that is going to come under scrutiny from the stewards after this race. Reimer has now got to focus on getting at least a 5 to 10 second lead, I would say, to avoid that penalty affecting him at the end of this race. Curveball now looking to make a move on Urban. Taking Lacombe a little wide, and now is under attack behind from Z-Milk, who we know is very fast through this part of the track. Z-Milk on those fresh, hard tires, looking to make a difference here, and now he is all over the back of that Alpha Tauri. Z-Milk now coming through 13, 14, 15, the campus corners down into 15 and 16 of Stavelot. If he can set himself up here coming out of Stavelot, he will be in a good place going down into Blanchimont and could make up quite a bit of time. But curveball now benefiting from a slipstream from Urban. We'll go back to SP, who's looking to make a pass on Pontiac Bandit for 7th position. And Walrus in the pit. So those soft tires not doing him any favors at this point in the Grand Prix. So SP now within 5/10. Will he be close enough? But he has got to worry about Leisig behind. Only 3/10 behind. Can Leisig make any progress down the Kimmel Straight? He will get DRS, but so will SP. So he should be protected from a pass from Leisig. Is SP going to send it? He is. They just, the switchback for a second, thought about it. And curveball. There we saw the stricken Alpha Tauri. So will we get another safety car? Looks like a virtual safety car for the Alpha Tauri. Curveball. Looks like losing it through. Where was that? Just out of 9? So current status of this race, we're halfway through lap 11. Virtual safety car, Reimer leading just in front of Barney. Back to Urban in 3rd place. And Z-Milk in 4th place. Back to Pontiac Bandit, rounding out your top 5 onto SP, who was leading this race before he got into a tussle with Reimer. Leisig now makes his way up to 7th. Owa in 8th. Shashir in 9th. Feeney rounding out the top 10. Angry Walrus, who just made a pit stop right before that VSC. So unless some other folks make a pit stop here during this VSC, I think he may have just mistimed that pit stop by about half a lap. Shiesty in 12th, and Anyote still coming through here in 13th. So we have lost four drivers so far during this race. No weather as of yet. And I don't know if we'll get any or not. So looks like Owa into the pits. We're getting quite a few time penalties here. We're back green flag racing. On board with Reimer. Barney making up time. And Leisig. Let's go on board with Leisig. He is hounding that Alpha Tauri Pontiac Bandit. And we've got, Angry Walrus. They're sitting outside of, outside of Lacombs. It looks like he's bent it on the outside of, and he was on new tires. He'd gone through a temperature cycle on those, and I wonder if he just didn't get them warmed up under that restart. Oh, so Angry Walrus went from battling for the lead to pit and now DNF. So Spa claiming quite a few victims tonight. Wow. That is unfortunate and probably not the way that Angry Walrus was expecting his night to go. Reimer into the pits from the lead. On medium tires, I expect the hards will go on to finish this race. Yes, hard tires on the Williams. And Z-Milk, Lysick, Shashir all in behind. And we are back to green flag racing. So these drivers in the pits now opting to pit under the VSC, and it's just turned, so we'll see what effect that has on the race. Barney now out in the lead of this race with a 4.5 second advantage over Urban in second. Quite a bit of field spread now after that VSC and the pit stops. So now this goes from what was a very much on-track battle for the lead to now a strategic race for the win. I'm trying to think here and recap. Reimer, I believe, is probably in the battle for the lead still. On those fresh hards, we believe Barney is going to have to come in and pit again, but we know Reimer is probably carrying a penalty for that clash with SP. So Urban doing very well in second right now. Oh, Z-Milk picking up a 3-second penalty for track limits. Let's give a little bit of love to Urban. Urban's has been just exponentially increasing his ability and talent over the last few weeks. And here he finds himself in second, and here he comes into the pits. So what tire strategy is Urban going to go with to the end of this race? Who's behind him? SP. Oh, no. Mercedes team double stacking. We'll see. Okay, so Urban. Well, that's strange. Is that a drive-through? That was awfully strange. All right, so Pontiac Bandit now finds, after that pit stop from Urban, Pontiac Bandit finds himself in second. And Reimer, with all those pit stops, Reimer has found himself back to third. Pontiac Bandit 10 seconds behind Barney. Let's get a real idea of what's going on in this race. So Barney first with 9-lap-old hards. Pontiac Bandit also 9-lap-old hards. And then Reimer, we know, who just pitted for fresh hards. We've got used hards all the way back from Urban, Z-Milk, and Feeney. So I think that confirms Urban did have a drive-through penalty of some sort. Lysick in 7th on fresh mediums. That is interesting. SP with fresh mediums in 8th. Watch those two guys to come through as these aging hards become. We're looking at probably a max lifespan on these hards, 14 to 15 laps. So Urban very quickly approaching the end of life on those. But look at Anyote, 13-lap-old medium tires. That is definitely longer, or those tires are old. Those tires are old. So this is interesting. Like I said, this is turning into not an on-track battle, but more or less. And there we go. Urban's pitting, and I believe it's going to be a tire change. So we're going to start seeing some strategies start to converge here towards the end of this race. Lap 15 of 22. Barney leading. He will need another pit stop. Pontiac Bandit in second. He will need another pit stop. Most likely. If these guys don't get another pit stop in, they're going to be just limping those tires around towards the end of this Grand Prix. Reimer probably won't need another pit stop, but as we know, carrying around a penalty. Z-Milk in fourth will need another pit stop. Feeney maybe needs another pit stop. Can maybe stretch those tires to the end of the race. We'll see. Leisig and SP, 6th and 7th. Owa in 8th. Shiesty in 9th. Urban in 10th. Onyote just lost a position to Shashir. That rounds out your top 12. Angry Walrus, Curveball, John the Prince, Bong It, and God Rewinds. All out of this race. Go on board with Leisig. Leisig currently in 6th and chasing the Alpine of Feeney. Now down to 8, 9, 10. So Leisig getting into DRS, flirting with DRS, going into starting lap 17. Is he close enough in that DRS detection zone? It's going to be close. So he didn't get it down, but he's now within half a second. SP setting the fastest lap on those medium tires. So here we go. Leisig now within 2 tenths. Is he going to get a pass down through the Kemmel straight? You got to think he's close enough. That DRS flap opens up. And which way is Feeney's going to stick to the outside? Leisig up the inside. He's got the pass done into Lacombs. And he will set his sights on Zeno. SP following closely behind Feeney. Is he going to be, I'm telling you, SP and Leisig, guys to watch as we finish out this Grand Prix. They're on a faster tire. And they, those are guys, I think those, the guys we noted at the beginning of this broadcast, said look for these guys to come through the field as this race starts to wind down. Some of these drivers on older hards are going to have trouble towards the end of this race. So now SP now within a half a second to Feeney. He won't get DRS down this back straightaway, but he will get it on this next lap. He is within range. He will be through Blanchimont, and it's going to be hard onto the brakes as they go through this final chicane. We know SP is probably driving with a chip on his shoulder. After, he's got DRS down the straightaway. Feeney with a bit of a slip out of the chicane, and SP's going to grab 6th position, fairly uncontested. So now SP off to chase down Leisig. Will he follow him through all the way to the front of the field? We'll have to wait and see. Barney now challenging Reimer at the front. This will be a battle to watch. So Barney on those fresher, softer, faster, medium tires. And we know Reimer on not old hards, but they are slower, less sticky than those medium tires. So Barney will have the advantage over the rest of this lap, and now within 2 tenths of that Williams. Oh, and we've got a safety car. Onyote out of Lacombs, through the middle of Lacombs. And that is going to be a full safety car. So, with 5 laps to go, Pontiac Bandit, that is not what he needed. Or is it? Out in front on aging hard tires. Is this safety car going to be enough for him to limp those? No, he's in the pits. So he's probably going to throw on a set of softs, I would have to guess. Who else? Z-Milk in the pits. So Reimer takes over the lead of this race. Barney right behind. Leisig in third. So Leisig and SP, third and fourth, on a very racy tire once this race gets restarted. Pontiac Bandit, Z-Milk, Feeney, Owa, and Urban all into the pits. This will be a drag race finish, folks. And would not be surprised if on this restart we get a little bit of spiciness. Safety cars breed safety cars, and this is a very tight turn one. So here we are, lap 18 of 22. Probably expect this safety car to last maybe one more lap, but not much more than that. Reimer leads this race from Barney, from Leisig in third, from SP in fourth, Pontiac Bandit in fifth, Z-Milk in sixth, Feeney in seventh, Owa in eighth, Shiesty in ninth, Urban in 10th, and Shashir in 11th. We've lost Anyote, Angry Walrus, Curveball, John the Prince, Bongit, and God Rewards. So Spa claiming quite a few victims tonight, more so than I had originally thought. Might have expected to lose this many if we had a wet Spa, but it's been dry, minus quali. So I don't know if it's just aggressive racing or the curb catching folks out. Most have been in Lacombs, which is weird because Pro Tier Monday night we saw a lot of folks losing it on the curb through turn 7 in Mexico. So that's interesting. Okay, so got an update from Bongit. Bongit, one of the first few out tonight. Apparently he got massive rear wing damage. Tried to race with it, but lost quite a bit of rear downforce. And on a track like this, you're not much you can do with that big of a loss of rear downforce. So had to retire the car. So unfortunate for Bongit. Hopefully he can make a recovery here within the season, but out tonight in 16. So bad luck tonight for Bongit. And we've got, who is that? Lysid Ghosted? It must be Reimer. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. So Reimer needs to jump the lead of this race. He needs to really jump out to a massive lead to retain first. But he's going to have Barney, Leisig, and SP breathing down his neck. Lap 19 of 22. I'm hopeful that we see the safety car in this lap. It's possible. Leisig. Okay, so update on Leisig. Leisig's been kicked out of the server. That is why he's ghosted. So, will he make it back in time before we restart this thing? Hopefully. Z-Milk in his new Ferrari, 6th. Could this be a... Now, I don't want to jinx anything here, but could the Ferrari... Could that red of the Ferrari have brought a stop to Z-Milk's domination? Z-Milk has just been utterly dominating the past past few weeks. I think it's probably track specific, but man, not a good omen. Not a good omen. So still here under safety car conditions in Spa. If you've just joined us, it's been an eventful race. Oh, Feeney spinning under the safety car. What has happened? Did he pick up any damage? It doesn't appear like he's picked up any damage. That's interesting. So still under safety car here in Spa. If you've just joined us, it's been an eventful evening. We've had 6 DNFs, quite a few safety cars, quite a few virtual safety cars, lots of on-track passing, quite a few different leaders. Reimer's led the race, Barney's led the race, SP has led the race. A lot going on. And probably much more to happen here in the last couple laps. This is going to be an absolute sprint to the finish. So don't go away just yet. This race is far from over. We will not end the race under the safety car, that's for sure. So we'll at least get 1 or 2 racing laps. And according to Christian Horner, you only need 1 racing lap. And if you don't get that reference, watch Drive to Survive season 4? I don't know. The 2021 season, Abu Dhabi. So hopefully we get green flag racing this lap. We've had quite a few safety cars tonight. It's been interesting. It's been an interesting race. So we'll take a minute while we're under safety car formation here. For those of you who maybe are watching who aren't part of the league yet, and you want to be part of the league in some way, you can join our Grid Rival. Grid Rival, a platform to do fantasy F1. You select your drivers, you select the team. Their values go up through the season, and it's just a fun way to get involved in the league without actually racing. So come join us, Grid Rival CCRL F1, and we are getting ready to get back underway here. The safety car is almost in, and Reimer is off. Is he going to hit that safety car line before the safety car's in? No, it doesn't appear that way. The grid is tight up behind him. Lysing tucked underneath the Alfa Romeo of Barney. We could possibly get a pass done here once we get onto the Kemmel Straight. Pontiac Bandit making up time on SP. Great exit out on Radeon, and Pontiac Bandit in the slipstream. Is he going to get one in on SP? I don't think he's got quite enough. Oh, what's happened? Downshifted early. Top 5 all within 2 seconds of one another. Can Barney on those softer tires get the pass done on Reimer? We have got 1.5 laps of racing left here in Spa. Reimer, your leader. Barney in second, and Lysing, the top 3, your podium at the moment. Lots of points to play for tonight. Oh. It's like Urban and Feeney maybe tagging one another through turn 13. Both drivers away, so there will be no safety car. And SP within a 1/10 of Leisig. Will we get DRS on this final lap? No. So it's going to come down to driver and battery. Who can get a pass done on this last lap? And now Barney picking up a penalty. So Reimer and Barney both having a penalty of 3 seconds moves them all the way back to outside of a podium, possibly. Will Leisig take his win tonight and start to battle back against Zemil? SP currently on the podium. Pontiac Bandit on the podium. This could be big. And I'm just not sure without DRS if we're going to get any on-track passes done this lap. Here they come down into the campus chicane, 13, 14, and 15. Reimer leads the field down through 16 Satellite, and he is now on to Sector 3, the fast flowing part of the track. Here they go through Blanchimont. Barney tucked up underneath. Will he get a pass in? Oh, sends it. Heavy on the brakes. And Reimer will eke it out around the outside. And across the line. So Leisig takes the win with the penalties. SP, the second step of that podium. And Reimer did get enough of a gap to retain third place, but I think once that penalty for colliding with SP is applied, Pontiac Bandit will most likely be on that third step of the podium. Barney in 5th place with his time limit penalty applied. Zemil in 6th, his debut with the Ferrari. So there you have your computer-generated driver of the day is Leisig. I think, you know what? I got to give my driver of the day to SP. Got knocked, took a knock, kept racing, kept going, fought his way back, and then a second place. Man, great job, SP. I'll talk to Dresden and see if we can get SP on the pre-show for next week's race. Be great to talk to him, kind of get an idea of what that was like to battle back from. Incredibly great race tonight, guys. What an incredible race. Lots of drama, lots of great on-track racing. It was a fun one. So there you have it. Your unofficial results. Leisig in 1st across the line. SP with the fastest lap as well. So he'll get an extra point for that, coming in 2nd. And then Reimer unofficially in 3rd. Pontiac Bandit in 4th. Barney in 5th. Z-Milk 6th. Owa in 7th. 8th goes to Shiesty. 9 Shashir. 10 Urban. So Urban just squeezing in a top 10 finish there and in the points. That's a good finish for Urban. Feeney in 11th. Agnote 12th. Angry Walrus 13th. Curveball 14th. And John the Prince 15th. Bong at 16th. And God Rewinds in 17th. Whew. That was a great race. Appreciate everyone in the chat following along. Appreciate all the viewers. It was a great race. Looking forward to have Dresden back with us on Monday night. It'll be after the Formula One race this weekend in Saudi. Jeddah always well, not always, but last year was a great track, and obviously in 21 gave us some great battles. So looking forward to see. It's it's looking kind of grim. I think Leclerc's got already got a grid penalty going into the weekend, so see if anyone else can step up and dethrone Max Verstappen this weekend, who's looking like the favorites. So I think if we're gonna root for anyone this year, we got to root for Sergio Perez to get in there and throw some kinks in the Red Bull strategy. So. Yeah, once again, I mentioned it during the broadcast, but if you want to join us for some fantasy F1, jump on Grid Rivals, search for CCRL F1. We'd love to have you in there. It's never too late to get in and get your team started. It's a fun way to follow Formula One if you're new or if you've been around for a while. So we'd love to have you. Grid Rival, download it. It's in the App Store. CCRL F1. So once again, thanks everyone. It's been a great night, and we look forward to having everyone join us again for Monday Night Pro Tier. I've been PK. This has been CCRL Racing and the Elite Tier. Be happy, be healthy, be racy, and we will see you guys next time. Thanks.
Do you want to know what it's like? How it feels behind the wheel. On the most exclusive asphalt in the world. 1,000 horsepower at your command. Speed like you've never known. Millimeters between fame and failure. Milliseconds between first and forgotten. Take a seat.
Make the cheeks clap.